Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm back. Bob Walters, Brett Grasso, Locked Up Sports, Wild Card Weekend. Brett held down the ship yesterday. Brett, I was dying.
How you feeling?
Dying
How you
for the
feeling?
last day. I was
That's
dying.
the worst.
Dying the
It's
flu.
like it's bad if Bob's not around.
I was
You
in
know, he's
bad
hurting.
shape. It went like that. I came home. I was fine a couple days ago, and then within 15 minutes.
Jordan flu game. I'll tell you that much.
I am Jordan flu game. I am not, absolutely not. I was ready to die. I was like, we got to end this. I can't do it. And then even now,
kind of like me watching the games yesterday because they were so bad. There was nothing going on.
The games are not bad. Now, first before that, we got breaking news. Right, breaking news. Vrabel has been hired by the Patriots as the next head coach. No shock there.
Steal him away. It wasn't like I gotta get over to this Jets franchise. The future looks bright. None of that.
The Jets couldn't steal him away. They tried. They had to know, right? You think that they thought they were going to cut him?
You think the guy who played for them for like a decade, won Super Bowls, is in the Hall of Fame for them, is the perfect fit for them? The Jets are surprised. The Jets are idiots. The Jets had a sleeper agent come in the other day and interview for a job. Took all the details of what the Jets are looking for in a head coach from them, and then went to the Patriots the next day. And now he's there spilling the goods to Robert Kraft and saying, ha, ha, ha. And just again, the Jets, another 6 more years of winter for the Jets coming.
Yeah,
here we go.
Listen, who are they going to get? I mean, who are you going to get
Well,
now?
that's it. Well, here we go. Ready? Here's your list. Ben Johnson from the Lions, not interested. Doesn't even want to interview. John Gruden, blacklisted by the NFL. Brian Flores, everybody hates him. Rex Ryan, he's just a repeat offender for the Jets. That's just more history.
I think Rex is the guy.
History.
I think Rex is the guy.
Now the odds have increased substantially this morning of Rex Ryan.
And Rex loves it. Rex wants it so bad. He wants it so bad.
Yeah,
he wants to be this coach.
You know what? Listen, you give me Rex and whatever the quarterback is a placeholder this year. I don't even know. Like
Russell Wilson,
go prove it. Give him a prove it. No, not Russell Wilson. Not Russell Wilson. I hope he retires. That's not what I want. But listen. No matter what, the Jets as always are in a weird situation. I hope they find themselves a good GM to run this ship that can take over control from Woody, and then whoever the head coach is, they go out and build a roster of guys who actually want to be here and are tough like they used to be. Because that defense looked like crap. Forget about our offense and Aaron Rodgers. We need to find a defense. So hey, Rex, you know what? If it's not Mike Vrabel, if it's not Ben Johnson, John Gruden, hopefully it's John Gruden, but if not, Rex.
All right,
anyway, let's move on to some teams that make the playoffs in the last 15 years.
I was disappointed. Yeah. I got the day off. I was kind of watching the games because I was in and out of consciousness and stuff. Yeah. But the first game, I root for the Chargers. I want Justin Herbert because I think he's one of the better quarterbacks. And every single time, it's just a major disappointment, whether it's in the regular season or the playoffs. They no-showed yesterday. 32-12 to a team in Houston that had not played well at all in a month. And to come out and lose like that, 32-12, and even to get 4 turnovers from Houston. I know that the Chargers turned it over, but 4 turnovers from Houston and put up no points. So disappointed in the Chargers.
Well, I mean, come on. Justin Herbert, nobody open all day, couldn't find a receiver. 4 picks all year. Entire year.
He threw the
right?
picks late. He threw 2 picks late, right when the game was over.
He threw 3 picks all year. He threw 4 yesterday. That's it. That's what gets you. Let me tell you. I'm with you, but you know what? You're right, and they keep just floundering in the playoffs. Justin Herbert
Harbaugh.
Now.
I mean, that's
Justin
disappointing.
He's had two in a row. No, that's 2 playoff games in a row where he's a total disappointment. And C.J. Stroud now 2 in a row where he's 1-1 his first 2. Opening round playoff game. So last year as a rookie, he won 1. His second year, which was a big step back for him and this team, not playing to where they were supposed to. They still won the division. They got a home game, and they did what you're supposed to do with the playoff home game. They won that home game. They were barely favored at all by a point or 2 points. And C.J. Stroud, man, like some guys just step up when it's big time, and he did yesterday. Not that he had some amazing game, but he did enough to win.
Yeah, and then they're gonna get what's the lineup now for next weekend? I know that the Chiefs obviously get the lowest seed of left, so that's still left to be decided. That could be, could be the Broncos if a miracle happens over there in Buffalo. But are they headed for Kansas City? Or is it going to be? Is Baltimore ahead of them? Baltimore's ahead of them. Baltimore's the 2 seed.
Let me try and find it.
But just so disappointing for Herbert. And I think he's such a good quarterback, and I think he's a top quarterback in the league. And every single time, it's just the Chargers are like the Jets. It's like you put on the Chargers uniform, and you're gonna blow it in the playoffs. You put on the Jets uniform, you're gonna blow it. Just be bad the whole season.
How much of this is on Harbaugh? Is it like what is it? Like what goes on? Is this first year, right?
I think they just got their ass kicked yesterday is what happened. They just went out there and they just got their ass kicked. It wasn't even close. Yeah. It wasn't even close. 30. They couldn't score touchdowns.
That defensive line of Houston just stepped up. They've been giving up a lot of points. They were giving up like 28 points, very low, like one of the worst in the league, giving up points for the defense, even though their defensive backs are some of the best in the league. Their defensive line, some of the best in the league. They got pressure on the quarterback. They were that's it, man. I'm telling you, pressure on the quarterback. If you don't have a guy who's going to go run like Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry, it's all on the quarterback, man. That's why you need a guy like Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen, where when that happens, or Lamar Jackson, just like we watched Lamar, you step up in the pocket and you go run for 5, 6, 7. Sometimes you get 20. So, and if you don't have that, Justin Herbert didn't make other things happen, man. That's what good quarterbacks do. And you know what he did? He tried to force balls late in the game, and he ended up with 4 picks in the game, and that was the game for him.
So barring an upset by Denver today, it's going to be Kansas City and Houston.
Yes.
Which is, again, Kansas City doesn't.
Yes.
Houston doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, no matter what, you're going to be looking at, it should be Buffalo, then going into Baltimore.
I don't know about that. I think that Buffalo, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, but Buffalo-Baltimore game would be it's going to be a hell of a game. Now, the second game you had was not much better, right? It wasn't much better at all. You had,
but it was what was expected, in my opinion. Like that's exactly what I was expecting.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't expect what was it? You didn't expect Pittsburgh. Baltimore sounds like a good game. It sounds like a big game. Okay, Baltimore, the rivalry. They played each other more than anybody else. They said it during the broadcast, like Hallis and the Bears and the Packers are the only
the
two
problem
teams
is
that have played each other.
The best guy on your team can't be your head coach. Best guy on your team can't be the head coach.
Now there's questions about whether they should get rid of him. Has he lost the locker room? I think they're crazy if they get rid of him. There's nobody better out there. You're crazy if you get rid of Tomlin.
No, and honestly, if you look at the problems, he actually had what were some problems in his locker room and even starting from last year with guys quitting and into the beginning of this year with George Pickens quitting. And the problem is when you just like sell out and don't block and don't do whatever, it hits Instagram the next day. And everybody calls you out.
When you can't run, Brett, look at this. Look at the rushing yards.
He got control of that locker room, so I'll give Tomlin some credit. Let me tell you, nobody else gets this team to the playoffs. There's no other coach.
No, I agree.
In this league.
But you can't rush for 29 yards and give up 300 yards rushing and expect the game. I'm surprised it was even that close. Look at the total yards, 464 to 280.
That's my big problem with the game is no matter what, when you get down by that, that's what it's going to look like. When you're down by 2 touchdowns early, which is what happened, That game was not a 28-14 game.
I screwed up here when I put in the first downs. It wasn't 299 to 11, but
it was close to that.
But it was close to that. It was close to that.
Now,
look at
the
possession. The time of possession too is 39 minutes to 20 minutes. It's a disaster. It was a complete domination by the Ravens.
That should have been them running the ball so much more. But once you're behind like that, you have no chance to catch up. And that's what we kind of talked about a couple of weeks ago. Was the Steelers are fine. But when you're playing from behind versus these high-powered offenses, the Steelers have no chance. There's no way they're going to come back and score 3 touchdowns and not give up a touchdown versus anybody when they're down by 2 scores. There's just no way.
And Russell Wilson peaked earlier in the season. He was not as good as he was.
Justin Fields out? What are they doing next year? Like they're going to Russell Wilson's out.
Russell Wilson's a placeholder anyway. He was a placeholder for Fields. He's not going to be back there.
But for Fields? Not for Fields.
No.
Fields is going somewhere else now.
Yeah, but he's a placeholder.
You're right, but nobody else. Neither one's going to be there next year. So we'll debate that. And that they don't know. They're in a tough spot. So
now, does Tomlin want to stay there? I mean, I don't know what his contract situation is, but I can't imagine he wants to go anywhere else. I mean, the Steelers are a team that historically they can put it back together pretty quickly. right?
Well, Tomlin knows one thing: no matter who you give him, and no matter how much money and what guy you got, he's going to make it to the playoffs or the edge of the playoffs, no matter what. So go give Tomlin some really good quarterback. Go give him some nice wide receiver on the outside. Like you know what Tomlin needs? You know what they need? He needs to go convince Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams to show up and both come as a package deal next year. That happens, this team wins a playoff game.
Yeah, they might. I know they don't beat Baltimore though. No, listen, they were. That's the thing.
They win a playoff game.
It's not big disappointment. It's not big disappointment. Is it really that big of a disappointment? You weren't going in there to beat Baltimore anyway, right? Baltimore is a much better team. They're possibly the second best team in the NFL. They weren't beating Baltimore.
I thought they were gonna. It was gonna be 40-10. Is what I think I said 30-10 or maybe something like that. But like I honestly expected it to be a worse situation, and Tomlin kept that game that could have totally been a blowout. I didn't expect Pittsburgh to score, let alone cross the 50-yard line, which I don't even know if they did in the first half.
No, they got two first downs in the whole first half. They were at 13-2 with the first down. But I don't think they crossed
the 50-yard line. I don't think they crossed the 50-yard line. I didn't expect them to do that at all in the second half. So the fact that they scored that touchdown in the second half, they kind of didn't make it where it looked embarrassing.
28-14 is closer than the other game. If you look at just the score.
Them, man. Let me tell you, that's Tomlin. And like I said, he's the best player on the team. And next year he's going to be the best player on the team also. Hopefully not. They get somebody better. But as long as they have him, you guys got a chance. So I would never, ever, no matter what happens, get rid of him.
Now today, the early game, 1:00 it should be. I think it's gonna be a lot like the other games. It's the Bills are 7.5 point favorites. They're plus 360 is Denver on the money line. Minus 480 on the money line if you want to bet the Bills. I don't think Denver stands much of a chance here in this one. What do you think?
No, I don't either. I think that the Bills should win this game easily.
35-10.
I think Josh Allen. Well, I think you're gonna see. This is what you're gonna see from a couple guys. Ready? From Josh Allen, just like you saw from Lamar Jackson, you are going to see those guys take the playoffs into their own hands, the same way that Patrick Mahomes does. You're going to see Josh Allen go over a ton of rushing yards. You're going to see him push probably one, if not two touchdowns into the end zone on his own. He's going to be selfish. He's going to win these games on his own, not just this week or whenever after. I expect a lot of points. I expect them to let me tell you, they're going to run over this Bronco team. I don't know what Sean Payton's got in store for him, but you're going to have to stop Josh Allen first.
Oh yeah, listen, I don't think they can stop. I think listen, and I hope Buffalo wins. I hope it's a decent game, but Buffalo, because that sets up a monster divisional round next to the game for the right to go, basically for the right to go to Arrowhead for the championship game, because both of these teams have been getting it so close, but they can't get over the hump of Kansas City, and it's Buffalo and it's Baltimore, and to have Buffalo and Baltimore next week, I think will be fantastic, and I think that's what we're gonna get. Obviously, I can't see a situation where Denver beats Buffalo here in this game.
I don't, but at the same time, on the betting end of it, that's a lot of points. I think it's some spots up to like 9.5 points.
Yeah, I have it at 7.5 here right now, but that I mean,
I know that's 8. Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the middle.
And then you go,
no, I don't. But at the same time, it's the playoffs. You know how it goes, Bob. That first play could be a kickoff fumble, then the team's up 7-0,
and then they're scrambling.
Then you have then you have a nice defensive hold where you hold them, and then you come and you kick a field goal or a touchdown. You're up for 2 scores. Like any team that's in this playoff bracket can do that. The ball, bounces the wrong way in the playoffs. Odd plays occur. You hang around. Anybody can win one of these games. Now, what do I think is going to happen? Like I said earlier, I think you're going to see a lot of Josh Allen. I think they're going to be up 21-3.
Yeah, I can see that.
In the first half. No, first half. 21-3.
And then they just kind of roll it back and run the clock out. So now in the second game is a good one. I think this one could be an upset. I could see the Eagles losing. I could see Jordan Love, even though I haven't played real well. I'm picking the Eagles, but I do think that the Packers could give them a run for their money here.
There's 2 major issues in this game and huge plot lines
that you don't even realize. Both with the quarterbacks.
Well, right, and both of them are hurt. Yeah, Love's got an elbow injury, which he had such numbness he couldn't feel his hand up until a couple of days ago, and now his elbow just hurts. And then on the other end, you have a concussion where Hurts has been out for a month. He's practiced once or twice. Not
he's
hasn't
cleared
been
though.
touched,
He's
which is
cleared,
whatever.
so he will play.
He's cleared, but you listen. That's a tough one to get. Timing's timing, and I think Hurts is great. The problem is when a quarterback's out like that, and you come back and say you don't have that timing with your receivers. You know what they then fall on? They fall on their running back, but they fall on themselves running. They're a running team now. Are you going to run that guy with the concussion?
And they're coming off a bad loss.
If you got to get
Eagles,
him healthy,
about the Eagles, yeah.
The Eagles, no, but they need to get him healthy through this week because if you get a concussion now, he's out for the rest of the playoffs, no matter what happens.
Yeah. Well, he should be.
I know, but do you tush push? Do you go run him like you always run him in that RPO?
Yeah, they'll do that.
Because now. But now you're just focused on Saquon, right? Now you just focus all your attention on Saquon.
The Packers are a good team, but the Packers are coming off a bad loss to the Bears in the last week of the season where they took the lead in the last minute and then gave it right back to the Bears, and they lost on a game-winning field goal at Lambeau Field. I believe it was at Lambeau Field. They just lost
like one of their best players. They just lost Christian Watson. Like they're in trouble. Like Christian Watson, the receiver who has been crushing it all year, is out. Jordan Love has not been, what he has been in the past. I do not trust the Packers to do much of anything. And I think Saquon Barkley
is going to be the difference.
I think he just eats them up. I think once they get that lead, and the Packers are good, man, but they lost one of their biggest weapon.
I think Saquon Barkley is the difference in this game. Right, he rushes for well over 100 yards. I think he probably puts 2 in the end zone.
Yes,
he eats the clock,
rested.
Long drives, time-consuming drives.
They just took away the opportunity for him to win one of the most prestigious, well-known NFL records there are. Yes,
he didn't get the record. It doesn't
100%. But he would have gotten all the accolades for it, Bob. Just because you wouldn't have liked it, he would have gotten all the accolades for it and all the attention, and forever would have been known as the NFL's all-time single-season rushing leader. They took that away from him. He is amped to go crazy. Now, does he not do it like he has blown up in the past in the playoffs?
No, he's not that kind of player. He's not. He doesn't hold grudges. He's like the nicest guy ever. He's
not a grudge.
Guy.
I'm saying that he's rested and he is eager and he gave up something so important for this that he's going to go bananas.
Yeah, I don't think they're winning the Super Bowl.
No, but I mean this week I think he just is.
Yeah, I think he's the difference.
You could go for like 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley's
the difference here. He's the difference in this game. The Eagles win, I think, by maybe 10 points, maybe a little less. Maybe it comes down to they need a stop at the end. But I think the Eagles do survive and win this game. And then tonight you got, I think, and listen, it's not the 2 best teams. It might be the 2 worst teams in the playoffs, but it is a good game.
Not the 2 worst teams.
With you got the kid quarterback for Washington going into Tampa. It's going to be nice weather down there. It's not anything, you have to worry about the weather. It's going to be nice. It's going to be 8 o'clock night game. And you got the Commanders finally back in the playoffs. And I think they can win the game. I think that Tampa can blow this. Tampa's up and down, right? Baker's up and down. He's hit or miss. Baker could have a monster game or he could throw 4 picks. Lately.
No, you're right. That is my big concern is if it blows up for Tampa, it blows up big. I'm telling you, and Jaden Daniels will take advantage. So say Baker Mayfield, which, listen, he might throw 4 touchdowns, but if he throws an early pick, Jaden Daniels is going to have a touchdown on the next play. And that's what, and like you said, when you go down by 2 scores in these playoff games, it's very hard to claw back versus good teams. Very hard. Now, Baker Mayfield can come back versus any team. He's thrown more touchdowns this year. I don't even know 40-something touchdowns. Not that many interceptions.
He could have an all-time game, or he could have a terrible game.
This year, he has been elite compared to even his best years. Let me tell you, he's got the maturity now. We didn't think that he had the talent in terms of like arm talent, intelligence, reading defenses. He's mature now. I'm telling you, he is a scary guy. And you are 100% right that Washington can win this game. I think it's going to be a shootout.
I'm picking them to win.
I think there's 50 points scored in the first half, which is the over-under somewhere in the 50s.
51.
That will be scored in the first half.
So, do you think Tampa wins? Who you got in that one? Okay.
Yes.
See, I think Washington. I'm going to pick Washington with the upset.
But I don't think people realize what Tampa is and what their fan base is also like. That playing in Tampa, as much as the conditions aren't going to be bad, they are pretty serious down there. It's very, very few sports that they care like that about. They don't care about your baseball, but let me tell you, they care about their Bucks. They're going to have that. It's going to come down to one of the final drive in the fourth quarter. But the best part is whoever does win this game, and I'll just say it's a coin flip. I want Tampa to win.
It's a 3-point spread, which means it's dead even because they get 3 points for playing at
Total
home.
Coin flip. But the best part is whoever wins this game, I'm telling you, they end up going to the conference championship and have a very good chance of going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, I don't
They're
know.
the sleepers.
Maybe
both
Tampa.
of them.
I don't know about Washington.
Both of them.
And then tomorrow you got the whole thing haywire. I don't think the Rams are good enough to beat the Vikings. The Vikings 14-3. But either way, what a blow. What a bad blow, right? You got to have the game now move to Arizona. What are they doing with the tickets, with the seat?
No, they did. They went on sale 2 days ago, NFL.com. You could have bought your tickets and had a flight to Arizona and bought tickets went on sale 2 days ago.
Okay.
Afternoon. They were like, here you go for it.
But is it going to be all people from Arizona in there? Is they going to have?
Well, know what? Well,
the people in
Cardinals,
LA are dealing with their own stuff now, right? They're not thinking about football games.
No, and that's why the Cardinals sent their resources to the division rivals. Sent their resources. They sent the plane for everybody, including anybody in your family and your pets and whoever that needed to come were allowed to come. So they sent it for the Chargers. I'm sorry, for the Rams. And they then said, here, our facilities are your facilities. They said you can obviously use the stadium because that's the NFL saying that. And they gave them all the accommodations to do it. And I kind of mentioned it yesterday on the thing. I was like,
did they sell it out? Did they sell it out?
Of course, they have to.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm sure they did.
Yes,
they sell it out
yes,
anyway.
It's easy enough. There's a million. Yeah, that's definitely selling out. But that's also not that. I mean, you would have almost rather played it in Vegas because Vegas is like
people,
LA.
People in Vegas.
Vegas is LA. Vegas is LA. Like that's their drive. That's their everybody.
That's their Atlantic City.
Over. 100%. Like, so you can just a quick drive over. But Arizona's not too far either. Just so you know, it's like not like that's also their other spot. But anyway,
but they're dealing with stuff like they're not even worried about going to a football game. A lot of those people, so that's the tough thing too.
Yeah, but that same thing for the Chargers yesterday going to play the Texans.
Did the Vikings buy a bunch of seats for their season ticket holders like they did against the Lions?
They had two options. They could either donate to the wildfires or buy the tickets.
Yeah,
they bought
they
the
bought the tickets. So that's what's going on today. And then tomorrow night, I hate the Monday night game, by the way. I hate it. I hate it because it's such an unfair advantage for the team because they're obviously they're going to play the late game Sunday, whoever wins this, but it's still a short week. It's a whole day you lose.
Bob, this is the NFL. That's the least of your worries. In the
they
future,
don't care.
they're going to
billions of dollars.
Just be lucky they didn't move this neutral site to Brazil.
Yeah,
let's just be all happy
they
didn't neutral site this one in Germany and be like, oh, we got to move this one somewhere. But
it was Monday night to begin with. Like, it's already unfair.
No,
and I get it that there's billions of dollars being thrown at them from these streaming networks, so they're going to take it. They don't care about fair when there's billions of dollars on the line. But to me, it's not fair. And I think Minnesota wins this game and wins this game rather easily.
We're going to find out about Sam Darnold. He had a really bad week versus the Lions last week, and we're going to see he's either going to go from 40 million to 60 million or 60 down to 40, depending on how it goes today, right? Like, that's pretty much the deal.
Listen, he's been good all year. He's been good all year, though.
He has the team to win. No, but they're expected to win this game. Like, of course. You need to now
they're
step up.
They're 2.5-point favorites.
It's easy to be good and be expected. You have to do it now. And Sam Darnold in his career he's had a good regular season this year. I'd like to see. I think they should too, but that's harder when you have expectations. They're a lot harder than than being the underdog. So, good luck, man. Because the Rams, all they hear is the Vikings are so good. The Vikings are so good. But they're so good. They're playing they're a 14-win team playing on the road in the playoffs.
But that's also big. They were one game. They were one win away from being a home field advantage.
But they didn't get the advantage. They didn't get the advantage of winning those 14 games.
Right.
They got the least advantage of everybody.
They are
the lowest seed heading over. Right. As much as it doesn't work out that way, and they're a great team. They got to step up now. They're coming off a bad loss. I expect them to win by a touchdown or 2 touchdowns. But you know what? Like we said, playoffs. Just watch early, man. Ball bounces the wrong way, and somebody and the Rams go up early. It's always tough, man. It's gonna be good.
It's about 30 minutes for kickoff. 30 minutes to kickoff. Enjoy the games. We came on, just gave you a quick 25 minutes is about all I can do, Brett. I'm about to pass out.
Oh man, we'll get you back.
So that does it for us. Enjoy the games, everybody. For Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters from the Brian Gunzel Studios. See ya.